What's up, everybody? This is Tim from Arm Wrestling Secrets, and today I wanted to talk about a critical aspect of hook success. Okay, now, obviously, the hook is one of the most visible and most popular techniques in arm wrestling, and there's lots of different methods of doing that, of course. But what I wanted to talk about in this video was something that's very people don't talk about it very much, okay? But it's critically important. And I think a lot of people who are, especially if you're having trouble with your hook or you're having trouble with your move, I hope this video is very helpful because it would have helped me when I first started arm wrestling. Okay, when you're watching arm wrestling, a lot of times you'll see someone doing, let's say we're talking about the hook technique, okay? Let's say they're doing the hook technique. That'll be our example, obviously. Okay, and they're going to, let's say they kind of win in what appears to be one move. It's fast, it's explosive, okay? It's like, and you, from an outsider point of view, you don't really know what happened first. It looks like one big move. It looks like they just went, or some kind of combination, okay? That's kind of what it can appear like, okay? And I want you to understand this, and this is something that even if you've been arm wrestling a really long time, this is something that I think is important to hear because you may not have heard it for a while or may not have thought about it, okay? Now, this is critically important for hook success, okay? So I'll show myself from the side because it's a little bit easier, and then I'm going to be turning back around here, but I can use the camera to kind of see where my body is too. Okay. So since we're talking about the hook here, this is what I consider a critical aspect and something that a lot of beginners are definitely missing and doing wrong, and they don't know why. They don't know what they're doing wrong, and I'm going to explain that. But even people who've been doing it a long time, they may be doing something wrong. Okay, and I'm going to explain something, and it's from a biomechanical aspect that you may not have considered. Concerning the hook. Okay, so look at it this way. Okay, so we're going to go for our hook position, and then I'm going to kind of explain what the critical aspect is and the slight difference and what you may be doing wrong here. Okay, so obviously for our hook, okay, we're as you know, I've been talking a lot about offensive versus defensive hooks. Okay, and I made it clear that I consider the best hooking position to be, and nothing other than your knuckles pointed directly to the side. The person's hand is therefore turned into a complete defensive hook. You can really test their pronation and put a majority of your musculature against their pretty small muscles of the bicep, brachialis, and pronation muscles, okay? And so I'm a huge fan of that offensive hook position where you're focused on your knuckles being directly to the side with great ulnar flexion strength, okay? And obviously you're working extreme wrist flexion strength. And without those two components, if you're just doing wrist flexion and you're not doing ulnar flexion, okay, then you're missing one of the two things that are vital to being able to do a good hook. And that's what's leading me to the critical aspect of this video, okay, is don't move before your wrist motion, okay? Now look at this. Just watch me here. And you can use a video of yourself arm wrestling or a mirror. I suggest that. Okay, so you can see what you're actually doing, where your body really is, how tight your angles actually are. You might be surprised at some of the mistakes you're making when you don't watch yourself. So it's actually good to watch yourself. Watch video of yourself arm wrestling. You'll fix a lot of things right away. Okay, so let's look at the hook here. Okay, so critical aspect. Okay, so we're here. Critical aspect is this. Okay, I said don't move before your hook. Now remember, it is easy to go like this. Did you see that? Right? Or let's say my elbow. Let's say I just did some back pressure. It's easy to go. And I'm hooking at the same time, right? Or okay. Slow it down in your mind and remember, wrist first, nothing else for your hook. You are stable, you're tight. In a hook match, if that's the technique that you've chosen to do, once you get the appropriate grip around the hand, okay, your only focus should be as quick as you possibly can. You're going to ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go. Not ready, go. Ready, go. That's wrong. You're moving before your hook. Okay, so if it's ready, go, it's ready. You have to secure this part before movement or back pressure is going to be effective for you. Now, it might look like some people do it in the blink of an eye. Good for them. For you, I want you to think about, and it can still happen quickly, but think about only perfecting your position before you start the match. And then when you're going for your hook, you're taking the best grip that you feel is best for your hook. And you're not moving anything before you secure the wrist. Just focus on now. The instant I get my hook position, then I'm going to start exerting pressure. And the better you get at arm wrestling, the quicker you can combine those movements into 1, 2, and the person might be down in a second or two. Okay, but I think in terms of, and that's something that took me a long time to learn, okay, is you break it up into just tiny segments. And I think, okay, step 1, besides setting myself up perfectly, okay, is in the match, once the match starts, once the ref says go, okay, get the hook with the wrist. Okay, now think about it this way. The more I move back before I turn my wrist, the less, and he's pulling it. Keep in mind, this person's not just standing there going, they're probably doing the opposite or wrenching me some other way, okay? So it's not like I'm having some non-resistance here. I'm having extreme resistance at the same time, okay? Your containment strength, meaning your ability to maintain this position, okay, will be lessened, weakened every millimeter that you move either your body, watch this, watch me move my body back. The person's pulling on your arm. It's not going to go like this. You're going to extend yourself if you move before you secure your hook. The hook puts the other person's arm in a position where all of the force is against their weaker muscle groups, the bicep included, okay, the wrist and the pronation, okay, and as you extend, the pronation gets weaker and weaker and weaker and comes down, okay, but that's the whole point of the hook position, is you're attacking the pronation of the person and the bicep, okay, but you're putting your strong muscles, all of this, and the lat muscles, okay, pulling, and you're changing levels against their pronation, which is a weak muscle, okay, and the biceps, which no matter how strong they are, they're certainly not strong enough to withstand your lat, like a lat row and a hook and all of that at the same time. So the offensive hook dominates the defensive hooking position. But remember, don't worry about trying to do anything else besides get a perfect hook. Before before you do anything, and then work on the quickness of that wrist motion. I mean, you can just do that by yourself at the table, okay? It may seem weird, but it's a great expenditure of time. I'm gonna do a lot of solo drills with you guys at the table, okay, where you're focusing on, and I suggest getting a mirror for this, okay, so you can see what's going on from the side and from the front, okay? And it's really helpful, is you can see what's going on, and you're working on quick starts, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. It's instantly you're focused on, but just at the wrist. Ready, go. Once you're in the tournament, it's still ready, go. Once you have the person in that weak position, then all of that back pressure that comes after that can be exerted against their weak muscle groups, and that's when the hook is really effective, okay? So without going on and on, that's all I really wanted to say. You get the idea. Don't move before your wrist motion, and watch yourself on video or in the mirror too, to make sure you're really not doing it, because everyone tends to do a little motion first. You'll have your best chance of setting your hook properly if you stay close to your arm and you go for the wrist first before you do anything else. I hope this helped you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.